Hey everyone, welcome back. In this video we're going to look at how to take streams and turn them into collections. And let's say that each person has a name. Okay, so now what we're going to do is let's just define an array list, persons, so we'll call this people is equal to new array list, and then we're just going to use the same kind of easy initialization we've seen before. Person people is equal to new person, and let's just create, or actually let's do it like this. We'll create a couple of people, we'll create maybe 5 people. So we need a constructor here, age, or string name, and then we'll do this dot age is equal to age, and then this dot name is equal to name. Alright, straightforward. Now we can construct each person by doing something like this. Sally, and then new person 20, Joey, and new person 30, Willie. Alright, there's our people array, and then we're going to convert it to an array list by using the arrays, or sorry, it's called collections. Where is it? Collections.toList, or sorry, it's arrays.toList. Arrays dot, is it not an arrays? It's so it's arrays does add as list. Okay, so now we're going to do that, and let's see here now. Can't be resolved to a type. Well, let's just remove these because we don't actually need them. And okay, we're good to go. Alright, so now what we're going to do is let's just filter out these people so that we're only going to get these first 2 people, and then let's store that output inside of another array list. So, or we can just do it like this. We're going to reassign people to be people.stream. We're going to open up a stream, and then we're going to filter by doing this. So we're going to get a person, and then we're going to filter the person such that, let's see here, if the person dot age is less than or equal to 20, then we're going to include the person in our final output. And now let's see here, do we need a closing statement? And so then we're going to use the collect method. So this is a terminal operation. It's going to close off any intermediate operations we do inside of our stream pipeline. So let's see here, let me format this a little nicely. Alright, so now what we're going to do is we're going to collect these guys into a list. And the way we do this is there's a very nice utility method. It's just collectors.toList. And okay, so this is going to return a list. It's going to return a list. So if we want to convert it to an array list, I mean, we can just do it like this. We can just set people to an array list like this. Or no, better approach. Easiest way to do this is to pass this output into a new array list, because the constructor for array list, the constructor for array list, it is a collection, and so that should work. All right, beautiful. So here we go. We're going to open up a stream. Let me just walk through this one more time. We're going to open up a stream. Then we're going to filter the stream so that we're only looking at people whose ages are less than 20. Then we're going to collect all of those items that match this filter condition into a list. That's going to be this stuff right here. Then we're going to pass this list into an array list so that we can actually set the people array list equal to this array list. Alright, now let's print everything out just to show that it worked. So then person, and so we're going to use the for each terminal operation again, but this time we're going to use it on people, which has been modified. And so now what we're going to do is we're going to go for each person. We're just going to system.out.println, and let's do person dot age plus space plus person dot name. All right, and let's see here, we need another semicolon, and let me stream this accordingly. All right, and now we run and we see 10 Sally, 20 Joy. All right, so that worked out well. Now suppose we wanted to do something such that we grouped all the people who were 10 years old into one category, So I could do, for example, so say I wanted to have some kind of data structure so that I could group all the people who are age 10 into one category, and then all the people who are age 20 into another category, and then all the people who are age 30 into another category. So let me just create another person so we have a clear understanding of how this works. So we're going to have two people whose ages are 30. So let's see here. The first one, his name is Willie. So let's just call the second person Joey. All right, so we have two people who are age 10, two people who are age 30, and then one person who's 20. So now what we're going to do is we're going to use, let me comment this guy out and this guy out. We're going to use the collect method. Let's see here. So we're going to open up a stream. Or I take that back. Let's see here. We don't want to reassign these people up here. We don't want to modify the original array list. So if we don't want to modify the original list, then what we're going to do is we're going to do people.stream, and now we're going to use this collect method again, but this time we're going to use another method inside the collectors class called grouping by. And what this is going to do is it's going to group everything the way we want it to. So it's going to group everyone who's age 10 into a data structure, and then everyone who's age 30 into another data structure. So the output is going to look something like this. It's going to be storing everything inside of an integer and then a person. So we have a map, right? This is similar to a hash map where you have a key and then you have a value. But this key could have a bunch of people, right? So for a single age, you can have multiple people. For example, for age 10, you have Sally and you have Smithy. So we're going to be storing a list of person items. Let's see here, list. Okay, it's imported the wrong one. We want list java.util, and then we're going to say, let's see here, grouped people, and we're going to set it equal to that. And now what we're going to do is we want to group it, right? So to group it, we use another lambda expression. So what this is going to say is we're going to grab p, and now we're going to use p.age. Let's see here. P.age. Do I have a parentheses? This should work. Okay, yeah, I need a parenthesis. All right, there we go. So let me format this a little bit so it's a little easier to read. Okay, so what is going on? What we're doing is, notice we're first opening up a stream, and now we're using this collect method. This collect method is going to take all the items from a stream and somehow turn them into a collection. In this case, we want to turn it into a map where each key is an integer that represents the age. So for example, we might have a bunch of keys, and the key might be 10, 20, 30, and then, yeah, that's all the unique keys we have. So for each unique key, we're going to have a list of people whose age matches that number. So Sally is 10 years old, right? So we're gonna put Sally inside of this map, inside of the key with value 10, and then we're going to add Sally to this list of people for that key. Then we're also going to add Smithy. Then the same thing for the key value of 30, we're going to add Willie, and we're going to add Joey. The way we do that is we use this collectors.groupingBy function. What this does is it takes in a lambda expression where the thing we're passing in, the input we're providing, or the parameter for this lambda function, or sorry, for this grouping by method, it's the field that we're going to use as our key. In this case, the key we want is age, right? So we're going to specify that, okay, we want to group by age, and this is how we specify that we want to group by age, right? If we wanted to group by name, we could do this, but if we did that, notice that we're going to get a compiler error because this left-hand side, it's not equivalent to this right-handed side anymore. Now we would say that the key that we're using is of type string, not of type int. But for now, we're going to leave it as an integer, and we're going to group by age. Alright, so now how do we test this out? Well, we can just do this really easily by printing the entire map out using the overridden toString method, which I'm pretty sure the map class has. We run, and okay, so we can see that the keys worked out, right? We have 20 here, and we have 10 here, but then we have kind of this nonsensical input in here. And that's just because we haven't overridden the toString method inside of our person class. So let's override it so we get some reasonable output. Public string toString, and all we're going to do is we're just going to return the age, or no, let's just return the name. And that should be good enough. We run now, and here we go. So we see that for key value 20, we just have Joey, but notice that for key value 10, or age 10, we have two items. We're now grouping by age because we have Sally and Smithy, and they belong to 10, and we have Willie and Joey, and they belong to 30. So this is very powerful because, you don't have to write any, this is a very simple code for grouping things. Normally, if you wanted to do this, you would have to write a for each loop and then manage a hash map and then make sure, you would fetch this list, and then you would see if the item was already in the list, and then you would add it, and you do, it's just a lot of boilerplate code. And with this Stream API, it's very simple. You can just group by very easily by specifying the key that you want to group by. So I think that wraps up this video, guys. I'm running out of time here. I'll see you guys in the next one.